Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to some more My Team content on F1 2020. Today we are here for the Brazilian Grand Prix, the penultimate round of Season 2, and we've got one more race to go after this, and then it's time for the big reveal of Season 3. I've been putting some teasers out there on the community post and also on my Twitter as well. You guys may have got the hint already, but I'm looking forward to it. Either way guys, that aside, this weekend we are here at Brazil. If you guys missed the last episode at Mexico, I'll leave a link up in the top right hand corner of the screen, so go check that one out if you haven't done so already. But this weekend guys, Brazil, it's a great track. I absolutely love it, and it's a chance for us to score some big points, you know, after the brilliant result in Mexico last time out, picking up the Grand Slam, pole, win and a fastest lap. We go into this weekend with a lot of momentum, so let's jump into it and let's see how the video goes. So here we are then on the laptop once again. You can see on screen the weather forecast this weekend is going to be dry, which is great. We then have the R&D graph, and actually Red Bull have brought a massive upgrade this weekend to this race, and therefore they actually overtake us. To be fair, I thought we were safe, but apparently not. So yeah, Red Bull up to second place now. They bring a big package this weekend, and Mercedes also again bringing more upgrades. You know, it's non-stop at Mercedes. They just don't stop improving, and it doesn't seem to be. It's hard to catch them, but we're going to try and do our best. Hopefully Season 3 will be our big break, because I've got some big plans for the new season. So hopefully it all goes according to plan, and hopefully we can try and push our team forward. With that said, we jump into practice, and I try to do my best around here. I can't lie, the car felt great, really good, but the AI also pretty quick around here as well, and we do go second in practice, unfortunately, so we are not going to get the goal bonus of securing a fastest place or top place finish in any session. We just miss out on that, unfortunately, but we do score a hefty amount of R&D points. We're now floating around the 3,000 mark, and of course you guys know we're saving up those R&D points for the end of season, where we start to buy some big upgrades heading into the new season, and also no rule changes in the Acclaim, but again we'll try and work on that next year as well. But we then jump into Q1, the first part of qualifying this weekend at Interlagos, and to be fair, this should be fairly routine for us now. It's become quite usual this season now in the second half of the year to expect us to get into Q2 and Q3. You know, at the start of the season it was all about surviving Q1, but again expectations have changed. The car has improved, and thus we are now an established, you know, upper midfield to, you know, slightly top end runner, if you will. And in Q1 you can see here we are finishing our first time lap in the session, and we set, to be fair, 1 minute 5.4. We go P5, and that was more than enough to get into Q2. The car was working well for us, and you can see eventually we got to push down the P9. The fastest time was from Lewis at 1 minute 4.6, and Mick Schumacher, to be fair, up in second place there with a 1 minute 4.9. So Mick Schumacher showing some great pace this weekend as we now move into Q2. This was my first time lap of the Q2 session, and to be fair, it wasn't the best lap. It was a bit messy. I got the hairpins a bit wrong, and it wasn't a good enough lap. We go P6 at 1 minute 5.3. We go quicker than Q1, but the lap, like I said, wasn't very clean, and I knew there was more time to find. We was only safe by about a tenth and a half, so I went out again as a precaution, and this was my best Q2 lap. So let's go for a lap and let's see how it goes. And here we go then, running up to the line, keeping the car on the racing line. Don't keep it too tight to the left on this one. We improved by 2.5 tenths and move up into second place at 1 minute 5.1, and just behind Valtteri Bottas. Eventually, we got pushed down to P4. Mick Schumacher in 8th place. He went 4 tenths slower than Q1, but I will mention in Q1 there was some time simulation going on, therefore some of the lap times in that session were glitched, including Mick Schumacher's, so I'm not expecting Mick to hit a 1.4.9 anytime soon. Either way, we then moved to Q3, and this was actually my first time lap, and it was actually a good lap. We was a 10th up on Carlos Sainz, but then on the exit here I got a bit too much curb, clip the grass and we go backwards and sideways out of there, which was a shame because a 10th up on Carlos, we was on for a 1 minute 5.0, maybe a 1 minute 4.9, you never know, but we completely messed up the exit. So our first lap is in the bin and we're going to have to try and go again. So we recover the car, bring it back to the pits, we strap on a fresh set of soft tyres once again, and we are now running minimal fuel, so we're going to see if we can get anything out of this. We are going to set up the lap a bit differently, going very wide to use the little downhill section here to get a bit more top end speed, but let's go for another lap here of Interlagos. Here we go then, opening up the DRS on the pit straight. Currently P10, let's see what this lap is going to be across the line. And it is going to be a pretty decent lap to be fair. Where is it going to place us though in amongst the shuffle? It's going to be P7, so not too bad. Pretty much best of the rest almost, and only Carlos Sainz and Ricciardo, to be fair, they managed to sneak up there in the top 10. So in the end, not ideal. Mick Schumacher there 1 minute 5.2. We do a 0.1, and I do believe our first run was actually better. Like I said, if it hadn't been for the mistake, that would have been the lap because it was a really strong one, and we was on for a 1 minute 5.0, maybe even a 1:04.9. So it was a shame, but unfortunately, you know, we have to settle for the second lap, which was still technically our best lap of the weekend. So in the end, I'll take it. It's not a bad qualifying. I can't complain too much. The car was working well though, and I feel confident that in the race we could do more. We then move into the rivalry breakdown though, and you can see we outscore Sebastian Vettel by a point once again. So we are going to extend our lead, and we're pretty much almost double points on Sebastian with just this race and Abu Dhabi to go. It's looking pretty likely we'll hopefully wrap up the rivalry in this race, and we then look at the acclaim. No real changes, to be honest. We're not really gaining much now from this, and with that said, that is it for qualifying. We're now going to move though into the race for the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Welcome along then to the place where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the final corner. And it's the place, a year later, that Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's Interlagos, and it's time for the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. Two very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Junsao into one of the two DRS zones will be the key to any overtaking prospects today. Alongside me once again for coverage of today's race, it's none other than the great Anthony Davidson. Now I want to ask you about Lewis Hamilton. They've had a fantastic campaign, it's been a wonderful year, and they come into this weekend's Grand Prix as a fully deserving champion.
I agree, it's been a truly impressive season, but championship or no, I don't think they'll be gently cruising around to the finish line. In fact, with points no longer a concern, there's a lot less to risk, so we may even see a more aggressive approach.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Albon, Carlos Sainz, Martinez, Bottas, Schumacher, Vettel, and Pierre Gasly. Norris, Giovinazzi, Sergio Perez, and Kvyat, Raikkonen, Ocon, Lance Stroll, and Max Verstappen. They've taken a grid penalty. Magnussen, Russell, Grosjean, and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay guys, so here we go. It's time for the Brazilian Grand Prix, starting from 6th place on the grid as we benefit from Bottas's penalty, and it gives us a good chance actually of maybe having a stronger start and potentially making a move down into turn 1. I think in this race the plan is pretty simple. I want to try and push for a podium. I don't know if it's going to be 100% achievable, but I'll try my best. I do think we've got a better race car than qualifying car as always, so I think that could be a possibility. In terms of the strategy, we're going to be starting on the soft tyres and then moving on to the mediums. A very simple one-stop strategy here today. The AI tend to be a little bit different with strategy around here. They're a bit strange. They tend to run the hard tyres, so we may have a benefit on that front. Hopefully, it will give us the edge moving forward. And in terms of fuel, I've actually gone for 0.5 more because I feel like we're going to need the fuel to attack and defend, especially on the 2 long straights along the pit straight, and of course before turn 4. So with that said, I feel confident. I think we've got a good car, so let's see if we can try and make that a reality and try and push for a podium. So let's jump into it and let's get into this Brazilian Grand Prix. Right, here we go then. Let's get ready for the 5 red lights here as we build the revs up to the sweet spot. Lights out and away we go. It's not a terrible start. We just don't get away, incredibly compared to everybody else. Seems like everyone just got a good start. We go around the outside of signs though and pick up the inside for turn 2. We squeeze him off as well for good measure, so we do gain a place off the start, just being a bit aggressive around the outside of turn 1. Ricardo up in P3. He's the outlier in all of this. He could be the one that starts to go backwards in the race, I think, as Hamilton breaks away out front on those medium tyres in the Mercedes. Looks like we've got Leclerc in 2nd place, and we've got Albon here in front of us. So I feel confident already of maybe achieving that 3rd place if we can just get past Albon and Ricardo. Actually, I think it might be Sebastian Vettel in P2. I'm not quite sure now. Either way, that's not important. Let's see if we can try and put some pressure on here. See if we can use these soft tyres at the start to be aggressive and use some early race pace. We're all over the back of Albon here, down the hill, right underneath his gearbox, picking up a little bit of dirty air as Albon goes slightly defensive through there. Let's see if we can try and get him into turn 1. Nice clean exit out of there. Look at this, look at the speed difference. We're going to try and go to the outside. Albon defends. We're going to use the slipstream from the cars ahead to get the move done, which we do. Attack the apex if we can. There it is, and we are through up into P4, which is brilliant. So it is Leclerc in P2. We get past Albon and Sainz on the opening lap, and we can now chase after Daniel Ricciardo. I can't lie, our starts have been incredible lately. We've been really consistent, whether it's starting from P1 or starting from way down and just making our places on the opening couple of laps. We've been so good at that, even on the medium tyres as well. Just driving so well at the minute. Right, P4, lap 2. Let's get head down and see if we can get past Ricardo. I feel like I'm not driving that well at the minute. The overspeed with the DRS and some overtake at times, especially into turns 1 and 4. I'm just running, really far on the brakes. Even the final corner as well, I'm just getting it all wrong. I think I'm pushing a bit too much. I've got to try and not overdrive the car because I'm making progress, but I keep throwing it all away by just breaking myself into every corner. Oh, Leclerc locks up into turn 1. Ricardo putting some big pressure on here. That's going to allow us to close the gap a little bit and just keep the pressure up as well on our end. Let's see if we can try and get something out of this. Ricardo putting more pressure on here down the inside. Into turn 4 they go. Still battling away. We've got to be careful here. The track is quite narrow in this section, so picking up a move could be risky. It looks like Leclerc may be running out of energy because Ricardo's much quicker on the straights. They're still side by side. This is a great little scrap for P2, and now we're involved. I'm just trying to be careful. Albon looking on the inside here. Just don't want to give away track position. Looks like Leclerc does manage to hold on for now. So fair play to him. We're going to see if we can put some pressure on Danny Rick through here. Nice clean exit. Nice and tidy. Oh, look at this. Around the outside. Can we hold on to this around the outside? Yes, we do. And there we go. We're up into P3. I'm not out of the woods just yet, though. We're going to have to do some defending, maybe. We know Leclerc's low on power. I think he's been defending from Ricciardo all this time, so we may have a chance to get past him here into turn 4. Oh, a bit wide there. Again, just out-braking myself, which I've said before, I keep on doing. I think I'm a bit too far back to challenge Charles into turn 4 here, I think. Let's see. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, not quite close enough. That's okay. We'll sit back and we'll try and get him on the pit straight. Here we go. We're closing in on Leclerc here, but I'm not going to go for the move into turn 1. I'm going to see if I can get nice and close and get him into turn 4. We set a new personal best. Bit hot on the brakes again through there, but We're closer than last lap. A lot closer this time. This should be it. Here we go with DRS. Down towards turn 4. To the outside. Oh, we bang tyres. Leclerc's still there. I've got to leave some room. It's going to be a drag race up towards the next right-hander. This is going to be close. Got to leave some space, but we are going to take the line, and we are through up into second place in the Brazilian Grand Prix. What a start from P6 to P2. Hamilton only 3.1 up the road. I feel like I can catch him. We'll see how that goes, but for now let's focus on pulling away from the cars behind. I want to have the pace to do that. We're about to find out, because the Ferrari behind us with DRS will be quite tricky to keep behind. I'm trying to pull away from DRS range as Raikkonen retires from the Grand Prix. We're so close to getting out of that DRS window of Charles Leclerc as we match our personal best. We're also really catching Lewis actually as well. We're making good progress, although I say that we completely messed up turn 1, but we're looking good. I feel confident. The pace is strong. These soft tyres are holding on as well, which is important. I am running the fuel into the negative slightly, but that's okay. We should be okay on that front. I'll be able to save later on if I need to, but for now I'm focused on trying to break away from Leclerc's DRS because he's not that quick, but the Ferrari engine combined with DRS makes it quite easy to hang on. So once I clear that 1 second window, we should be okay as we pass Raikkonen's stricken Alfa Romeo. Okay, Ricciardo pits behind us.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
I think Ricciardo's going to box for the hard compound tyres. Looks like everyone else is going to try and go for the mediums in this race. So the strategy's going to be quite similar, to be fair.
Mick is coming in for his stop.
Surprised Mick's going for the pit lane. Obviously he's going to go for the hard tyres as well. We're very much in a bit of a status quo in this race. Gap to Lewis is floating at the same margin, but I can't shake off Leclerc behind. So we're kind of stuck where we are, to be honest. And I'm actually using a bit more fuel than I'd like now, but I need to stay in front. Okay, now Leclerc pits. Albon as well. We've got 1 more lap to go. Hopefully we don't get undercut. Right, I'm going to box this lap. I'm going to cut my stint short by a lap just to avoid getting undercut by multiple cars. And we can still play it safe, and we should be okay to hang on. Hamilton pits as well, to be fair. So he's going to the hard tyres. That's very surprising. That might give us a chance of actually winning this race now, as we'll be on the mediums in this stint. And I'm more than confident of getting these mediums to the end. So we should be okay on these. Right, here we go. Critical phase. We need a good stop here from the boys.
Exit now.
A 3-second stop. That is the worst case scenario. Exactly what we didn't need.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Looks like Leclerc actually rejoined behind Lance Stroll and is stuck behind him, so we are going to be able to rejoin and reclaim our original position, which is really, really important in this race. This may give us a chance as well just to pull away from Leclerc and break DRS using Stroll as a bit of a mobile chicane in a way. Trying to see if I can save a bit of fuel as well while I'm at it. We've got Perez in the pit lane. Looks like Bottas as well. So both Mercs surprisingly not going for that medium soft, which I thought it was exactly what they were going for. That's the whole point of qualifying on the mediums. Okay, so we're now up to P4. We've got both AlphaTauris, I believe, who are yet to box, so we'll get those positions soon. Well, let's see if we can make light work of Danny Kvyat here. Personal best middle sector, trying to save that fuel as best as I can. We're almost back on target. We've got a 3-second gap to Leclerc behind, so that's working out in our favour. But here we go then, let's get past Kvyat. He's got some pretty good straight line speed, to be fair, but now we're starting to make some moves. Fastest lap of the race. Around the outside we go at turn 1. Inside for turn 2. And we are up into P3. Gasly leads the way. Okay, let's see what kind of pace we have now on these tyres. New fastest lap is for us, so we are going to score the extra point. Let's see if we can close up to Lewis here, because we've now got a legitimate chance of winning this race. I was making some good progress on Lewis, but now he's going to have DRS on Pierre Gasly, so all that hard work is going to be undone as he now gets quite a nice helping with DRS. It's been quite hard to get the gap down, but we did get it within 1.7. That's now gone up to 1.9, and just like that, laps of work completely undone. This is so difficult. I've got to be so patient in terms of trying to catch Lewis. I've managed to get my fuel back on target, which is a good thing. But I want to try and save a bit more. I think I can go for an even faster fastest lap, but I need to get more fuel saved up so that I can push for that lap. That AlphaTauri is so quick on the straight. Lewis can't get anywhere near Gasly. Even when he's left the final corner right in his gearbox, that AlphaTauri just has so much straight line speed. Honda been doing some pretty decent work, it looks like, because Lewis just can't get by at the minute. Simple as that. He's not even really close enough to challenge into any brake zone. Okay, Gasly pits. But thank you very much, Pierre. He has cost Lewis some time. Gap now down to 1.4. So we are a bit closer as a consequence of that, even though we lost out at first. 13 laps to go. Can we catch Lewis? This is such a, patient race. We have to really work hard to get close to him, but hopefully we can. Of course, the brand new world champion, 7-time world champion, Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton's pushing here. He's running full engine power. I think he's going to take away my fastest lap on this one. He's pretty damn quick. Let's see. Yes, he does. There we go. He's got his engine turned up. I can notice as the Fiat pits behind us. So Leclerc now will get back into third place. But at the minute, I don't have an answer for Hamilton's pace. I really don't. Like I said, it's very, very close, and I'm trying to, take small margins out of him every single lap. I can't keep up. Lewis is too fast. Gap now 2 seconds. I think it's done. Gasly new fastest lap 107.2, but we just don't have the pace to keep up. I'm gonna have to maybe just accept defeat and maybe accept P2, which is still a great result, as I was aiming for a podium originally. But when I was so close to that race win, I really wanted it, but unfortunately it's not going to happen, I don't think. Gap now 2.4. Hamilton's really pushing now. Okay, I'm currently going for the fastest lap attempt. This Williams is going to help us a little bit by giving me DRS as we now go for this. Let's see if we can extract a big lap here using the slipstream on the Williams car. There we go. That's the best I can do. That was a full push lap. Gap back down to 1.5, but obviously Lewis will pull away again. That was just me absolutely flat out for a lap there, using up the remaining fuel that I had. Hamilton takes away our fastest lap. I tried to improve on that one, but I was a 10th up in the middle sector, but that toe we got along the pit straight was just so powerful that I'm not able to improve, so Lewis takes back the extra point. I've tried everything this race, but Hamilton is just a bit too quick in every single area, which is a shame, but that's just the reality. We need to improve the car more next season to really compete with those Mercs. We're flying on this lap. I managed to get DRS on Grosjean down to turn 4, and now we're going to get the DRS. Oh no, we don't. He just gets out of the way. I was hoping to get the DRS on the Williams up the hill, but that's not going to be the case. Maybe we can still achieve it though if I hold on to the overtake mode up until the line. All for this extra point. Will it be enough? No, not enough. Personal best, but we don't quite get the fastest lap back, which is a shame, but I've tried everything. We just can't do it. And Bottas takes it anyway, 1:06.9, so that's the end of that. There's no chance I'm beating that lap time. Oh, Danica Fiat out of the session. And another retirement. So we're now down to 20 runners as we make a mess of turn 1. We're just going to bring this home now and forget the chase. Just bring the car home in one piece, and we'll take a P2 here today. Right then, here we go, making our way down towards the last brake zone. Hamilton today will pick up the race win. He was absolutely dominant. I couldn't get close to him. He picks up the fastest lap and also the race win. Fair play. We're going to come home though in second place from P6 on the grid and back-to-back podiums. I'll take that.
Great drive, great drive. We're really happy with that performance.
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. That's a spectacular victory then, and with it, the championship is secure. It's been a magnificent season, and they thoroughly deserve the cheers of the crowd here today. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
Well then guys, here we go, looking at the final race results. Hamilton picks up the race win here today at Interlagos and also picks up the fastest lap. So complete domination from Lewis this weekend. He does the Grand Slam, pole, fastest lap and the win. We finish in second place ahead of Valtteri Bottas, who in the end manages to finish P3 on the recovery drive. Ricciardo P4 for Renault, great drive from him ahead of Charles Leclerc and also Alexander Albon. We've got Carlos Sainz P7 ahead of Gasly, Perez and Ocon. Mick Schumacher misses out on the points, and I can't lie, that's a disappointing result. He started P8. I expected better. Sebastian Vettel P12, Norris, Verstappen out the points as well. Giovinazzi, Stroll, Russell, Magnussen, Grosjean, Latifi, Kvyat, Raikkonen all out the top 10. We then move into the driver standings and we are currently in third place, and that is now mathematically confirmed, which is great. So we are going to finish the season on the bronze third place rostrum position. So really, really good stuff, and a big sign of the step forward taken this season. We then look at the constructors, and we are also guaranteed third place. We're only 60 points behind Ferrari, but we can't do that, unfortunately. Mathematically, Ferrari are too far ahead, but what a season, guys. Confirmed third place, drivers and constructors. That is a brilliant season, and we're going to get even stronger next year with some big plans and big things up our sleeve. But guys, that's it for the race here today at Brazil. We're now going to move into the laptop.
You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
We were. The car was pretty good, actually. Better than qualifying, and that was really, really encouraging, to be honest.
Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
I hope so. We put in a lot of work this season, and we started the season, we was fighting Alphas, Haas cars and Williams, and now we're fighting for wins and podiums, and that just goes to show how hard we've all been working. So it's great to live up to expectations. We want to try and do well.
How do you feel about this team's performance this season?
I think they're a decent team. I think they would admit that they've not had the best season. I think their cars struggled at times. I think that's fair to say.
Great. Well, that's everything.
And there we go then. Looking at the breakdown, you can see we outscore Sebastian Vettel by 3 points. So we're looking pretty good. We've got a 10-point lead with 2 races to go. I think that is done. I think we're going to secure this rivalry. I think it's only actually Abu Dhabi, to be fair, that's remaining in terms of the battle. So that's pretty much mathematically wrapped up. We also gain a fair amount of acclaim, to be fair. Not as much as I'd like, but Mick Schumacher now very close to level 12. Probably would have got that had he got into the points today. Unfortunately, we didn't get the Sudo team bonus because, of course, we didn't manage to go quickest in any session this weekend. But we do get a maximum payout. No damage deductions, which is pretty good. And the total now, pretty much $19 million. And we're getting close to that 20 million mark heading into the winter period. Okay, so first of all, we have a sponsorship renewal, and I'm quite happy to stick with the current sponsors. They're all pretty achievable targets, and they're bringing a pretty decent influx of cash. So we'll sign on with them and stick with them. We've got quite a few days, actually, 10 days until the final race in Abu Dhabi. So we've got a chance here to get some upgrades on. So first of all, we've got a performance comparison here. Red Bull, of course, just overtook us in the last race in Brazil, and we're going to see if we can try and hopefully get them back over the winter. We're not going to put on any upgrades, I don't think, for now. We're going to save up the R&D points heading into Season 3. First of all, though, let's assign activities. So quite a few different options here, to be fair. The sponsor event is quite tempting because it gives the team 750 plus on the acclaim, which is quite big, to be honest. Looking elsewhere, we've got the Attend F1 Esports event and the sponsor advertisement as well. So we'll go for, I think, the sponsor advertisement first, and then we'll throw on the sponsor event for the in-depth factory tour. So we're pretty much boosting the team acclaim a lot, and hopefully that will help us close on to level 19, and we'll hopefully reach that in the next episode. So let's go back over to the R&D. Let's look at the situation moving forward, because we need to assess the options, and heading into Season 3, I feel like we need to do a little bit of reliability work. The car's not quite there. I feel like for next season it's going to be key that we manage to make the whole season on the components. We are bottom of the charts in the durability, so we do need to work on this. And I feel like a couple key areas, I think the MGUH, the turbo, the ICE and the control electronics all need some work. So we'll definitely look at that in the off season. And then elsewhere, engine-wise, we're mid-table. I think we can throw on a couple of upgrades here. Maybe work on some fuel efficiency. And chassis, to be fair, we're pretty good. Second place there. Aerodynamics also pretty high up as well. So we're pretty well balanced in that sense. But the engine needs a little work, as does the aero. So there is a bit of a plan, moving forward. And I'm going to add to that plan, hopefully, in the future. But guys, let's skip ahead and let's move on now to the final race in Abu Dhabi. And there we go then. After that, we are now over $20 million as we did get another sponsor payout. And we've now got 3,549 R&D points. And we're pretty close, I believe, to level 19 now as a team. I wish there was a way of checking it, but I don't think you can check the acclaim unless you're going in between sessions. So I don't think there's a way for me to check to see where we are. So we'll just have to accept it for now. Either way, we've got a big cash influx, guys. And, you know, I'm looking at the driver market. I've got my eye on a few options. You know, some decent drivers there, to be fair. Pretty affordable as well. We've got some young drivers who we may have to consider. People like George Russell could be a good shout. But we'll see. You know, we've got enough money saved up that we can pretty much afford any driver now except for Lewis Hamilton. So we should have the cash that we need in the off-season to buy any driver we choose. So Season 3 is going to be big. You know, whether we stick with Mick Schumacher, we'll see. I do want to bring Mick up to his full potential, which I'm not sure what it is, but I'd love to know. It's a bit of a shame he's not had any driver perks on him, you know, thrown on there. It seems like these young F2 drivers don't get the driver perks, which is a shame. So we are going to add on a perk of our own, though, heading into the final season, or the Season 3, should I say, the final race of the season. And it's going to be the social media team. Driver acclaim will be boosted by 50%. That is tempting. Also is resource point income. So we're going to do both of these, actually, because I feel like this is going to help us out a lot heading into the off-season and into the new season. So that brings our cash down to $18.5 million, which is not much of a change, really. But, guys, either way, that is it from me here today for this episode. The next episode will be the finale of Season 2, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We've secured 3rd place in the Drivers and Constructors, so we don't have to worry about that. We're just going to literally have a bit of fun, and I might even start from the back of the grid and see how far we can get. So if you guys are looking forward to that and enjoyed this video, drop me a like and subscribe if you are new for daily F1 content on the channel, guys. And also check out the 2 videos on your screen right now. And hopefully, guys, stay well, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. But until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.